And well, good morning, everybody. Today is January 29th, 2019, and this is the 100K Call Club call. And today is for new consultants and guests. So, welcome to the new consultants and our guests today. And basically, let me just give you a little bit of what this is all about. I've been involved in this business for about 29 years and had great success and all kinds of fun, a very balanced life. I enjoy the heck out of doing what I do, and took some time off and came back and wrote a couple of books and traveled the world and mentored people. And about 4 years ago, I hopped back in to continue my career. I kind of came to a realization. And the realization was this: when you stop being creative and active, you start to die. And I didn't like that idea very much. And this was my love of business and as an entrepreneur. So I decided that although I'm doing great and everything's fine, that, I could be a big help and contribute and help others. So first thing I did was I rewrote a book that I'd written in 1999. The book at that time was called Vested Interest, and I brought it up to speed in the 21st century and created a digital version, which is both digital, video, written. It's in a flip book format, and it was the major lessons and concepts that I learned along my journey of 40 years in this industry on how to be successful. We're going to cover a little bit of that today because that's important for those that are just getting started and taking a look and wanting to get information. And then the second part that I uncovered as part of challenges that many have in doing a business such as ours was accountability. And what if we look at what accountability is, it's being connected and being responsible for the activities that you're doing. And when you're on your own, sometimes, and I'm not saying all the time, but sometimes you can let certain things slide by you and not pay attention to the details, and you don't dot the I's and you don't cross the T's. So we created this group called the 100K Club, and the significance of the 100K is to, make 100,000 a year with this business, which in my opinion is very easy. Just takes time and effort and energy. And to cause you as individuals to participate, which then creates accountability for you to join the group. And I also found and know from experience that it's the group that helps create your success, because by participating with the group, you get to share, you get to hear and understand what's going on in the Nikken world all over the place. And it creates ideas, and we communicate. And when we communicate, ideas come forth, and you then can look at different scenarios of how you build your business and take advantage of your circumstances. And so far it's been really good. And we have 5 versions of this call throughout the week, Monday through Friday, or actually Friday through Thursday, which is our week. We start our week on Friday and we end our week on Thursday. And each day has a slightly different topic, although anybody is allowed to participate on any day, because there's always something that comes up that creates a very interesting lesson or some tidbit that can be utilized to help you build your business. And as a Nikken family, we work together. I'm going to start off with this because it's a nice success story. Last night, Debbie called me up and wanted to do a 3-way phone call. And Debbie is not in my organization. She's in somebody else's organization. But one of the perks and benefits of our group is to help each other. And so she wanted some help with a new prospect that she'd been working on and getting going. We did a 3-way, and now I hear the end result is he became an executive and joined the company and is on his way. Do you want to share a little bit about that, Debbie?
Yes, that would
Okay.
be lovely. What I can say is all the way up until I talked to you last night, I didn't know if he was going to be a customer or a consultant. It was going to be his choice, and I wasn't pushing what I wanted on him. I think that was very important to keep him interested. What I did do before the ABC with you was I invited him to the wellness preview, which helped the one that was online, and it gave him the opportunity to see the bigger picture. As I utilized Dave and his expertise on the business, because that was the piece that I'm polishing up on, gleaning from Dave's success, wanting that for myself. I used Dave that way, and then when we were done with his expertise, I went back to working with him by myself. We worked on the packs. The packs are important. He bought 2 of the 3 packs, and I come here this morning going so excited and going, oh my God, now what do I do? So, because he's also at a distance, he lives 4 hours away. So this is going to be an online experience. So my 2 things that I have now are tonight at 9:00, which is when we're both free. We'll talk. Last night when we closed, he had his webpage and policies and procedures. And so my 2 thoughts are join the 100K Club and join the Smart Networker. And that's a lot in and of itself, but I also want to put something tactical. Maybe that's enough. I'm not sure. So that's what I'm coming to the call with is I'm feeling that like that doubt, and I'm not quite sure why, because I do know, but I think if I bring it to the group, then I'll get very clear and concise and focused.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, congratulations on that. And yeah, this is a very important time and step, and of course it's very relative to today's call because this is the kind of not the make break point, but this is a key point in one's career when they make a decision to participate or are thinking about making a decision to participate. So let's clear some air here and really put this in perspective. So if we look at what Nikken is the manufacturer and the provider of these products, and then the consumer is the public, and that's everybody that's walking on the face of the earth. And of course, we know that everybody needs to sleep. They need to drink good, proper water to be hydrated. They definitely need nutritional supplements because, we've destroyed the process of creating food. There's no minerals, very few nutrients in food anymore. GMOs taking over, all that sort of stuff. So we see by the statistics of the sick care industry that something's wrong in the way we take care of ourselves, look after ourselves, and try and fix ourselves up. So we have a population that is absolutely in dire straits, so to speak, to learn and understand what we have. Now, the opportunity that we have in that mix is to act as the middleman, so to speak. We are the representative which basically hooks the public up to the manufacturer. And as the middleman, our job then is in providing information. Pretty simple concept. This is exactly what eBay does, Amazon does, Walmart does, all these major companies around the world. This is basically what they do. They find the manufacturer, they go to the public, and they marry the 2 up together, and goods and services are bought and sold. And as individuals, we all know that we need to do something in our life, and in the form of work or a project or a passion that generates enough energy to give us green pieces of paper or whatever color you have in your country, so that we can then take those pieces of paper and then go get the goods and services we need. Well, if we look at that in just a basic concept, that's what everybody's doing. They're going to a job. That means they're going in, they're doing something, they're putting in their time, their energy, their effort into doing something, and then somebody is giving them some money. okay, or they get money in exchange for that, and then they go live their life, play, go travel, sports, whatever it is that turns their crank, okay? So with Nikken, we are the same concept. We have an opportunity, and that opportunity is to represent the company, become that middleman, and then our job is to then get people to take a look at what the manufacturer has provided in the categories that we have, which is the water category, the sleep category, the energy category, the nutrition category, and the skincare category, and also the opportunity category. And if I go back and look at my beginnings when I first got involved with this in 1990, as a young man, a family and responsibilities, had to pay the rent, put food on the table, pay the bills. And I ran into a situation, I put all my money into a kind of a franchise opportunity, and then the manufacturer of that went broke. And then myself and my partner, we were left holding the bag. We didn't have anywhere to go. And so when I looked at this, I was looking at it as a solution to my problem or situation in life. I knew I had to do something that would generate cash flow that I could use to live my life, pay my bills, that kind of thing. Pretty simple stuff. So in a simplistic way, this is what we do. Now, there are many positives about this, and there's many things that one needs to do. But from the standpoint of somebody brand new, the first thing that needs to be, that you really need to take a look at, and this will bode well with you, is like anything else, you've got to become familiar with what it is you're doing. In other words, you move into a new neighborhood, and in that you've never been there before. And you've got a job, let's say you've got a job and your employer moved you there, and so you've got to find an apartment, you've got to find where the grocery store is, you got to know where the gas station is, you got to know where the post office is, and there's a whole host of things you need to know in order for you to live your life and do what you need to do. Well, the same thing applies here. There is a bunch of stuff that you need to know. It's not, it's not like a university degree, although I've been a student and studying this for many years, but with the idea of getting better, understanding more, making it easier, and understanding the results that are available when you do it right. And this was one of the reasons why I wrote The Smart Networker, and I'm just going to flip this up here to give you a kind of an idea of the content of what we're talking about. So what The Smart Networker was a video version of, it's 29 video and book, like a chapter, and each one has a lesson or a concept that's related to building this business and sets in a foundation of what's important, what you should do first, what you do second, what you should do third, and so that when you engage in doing this activity, you don't feel, dumb, that you don't know what to say or how to say it or what way to go. Because in the bottom line of this is all we really do is communicate with other people. We find out what's important, we find out where there are problems, challenge, issues, desires, and then we take the information from Nikken and present that to them as a potential solution. And when they see that they could get what they wanted or handle the problem or the issue, then typically what happens, they buy the product or sign up. So as an example, somebody's dehydrated. And we know what dehydration does. It causes all kinds of health issues. It's probably one of the core causes of all the diseases that are going on today. And so you talk to somebody and they say, well, yeah, I'm kind of, this is going on. You find out what their problem is and you present the Pi Mag water system. I got to mute, guys. Just a sec here. Oh boy, where are we? Anyway, if you could mute your phones, please. Thank you. So in lesson 1, the first lesson that I learned to make this work was I had to be the networker. I had to be the job. Like, for example, let's say you're a receptionist and you're hired by a company and you walk into that company. So what do you have to be if that's your job? You have to be a receptionist. So that means you have to do what a receptionist does. You have to learn what the receptionist does, and so that's what you go in there every day with that in mind. Okay, that's my job. Or if you are the mechanic at a service station and your job is to fix cars, well, you walk in there as the mechanic and you're there to fix cars. So as a networker and being involved with what we do, you've got to be that networker and take on that responsibility in that role, because that's what you are intending to do. So what the smart networker does is just breaks down all the concepts that are important. Chapter 2 is how to make decisions and how they affect you. Lesson 3 is about communication, how to find out what will interest your contact, how to create a secure long-term residual income. And it just keeps on going. Lesson 4, how the business actually works, in the sense of in the beginning and in the future, following a path to success, investing in yourself, developing your personal style, and so on and so forth. In lesson 5, this is a really interesting lesson. It's how the opinions of others can affect you. And this particular one, I wrote about my father-in-law at that time, and I was kind of getting started, and I realized that if I had the time, man, I could really do well at this. And what was holding me back was some obligations, and so I thought I'd borrow a little money, get rid of those obligations, then I could focus my attention. And I went to him and asked him for a loan. And as I was explaining the opportunity to him, I said, one of these days I'm going to be making $50,000 a month in this business. And he turns to me with this look on his face. He said, if you ever made $50,000 a month in this business, I'd kiss your ass in Macy's window. And I had to, take that negative and how do you deal with that? Because these are the things that affect how we move forward. Somebody says, oh, that's a bunch of junk, and you look at that and what does he know? So this is a very important lesson for stability, and then also how to plan and organize anything that you want to create success. Lessons 6 and 7, we deal with the probably the core aspect of our business, which is communication, the do's and don'ts, and then an example of how to make $60,000 a year, and strengths and weaknesses, what you need to look at. And then in lesson 7, we get into your story, your presentation, your daily activity, and then the key aspects of leadership. Now, those 7 lessons create the core concepts of understanding. With that, you now have a complete understanding of the basic idea of what it is that we do. And then beyond that, lessons 8 through 22 are basically scenarios, situations, understanding the compensation plan, how to launch your business, how to build your business, what are the strategies, what are the best strategies. And what's really interesting about this is, boy, if I had this information before I started, I'd be miles ahead today than where I am right now. Now I'm completely satisfied with where I'm at, but it's amazing that these were things I had to learn and overcome and then conquer. And so I realized that, and as a result, I'm passing it on to you. So from the standpoint of getting started as a new person, I always suggested that, there's a video on the 100K Club, and the video is called Time, Money, and Health. And in there's an example of how you could start this business and get your packs and that strategy, and within 90 days be making, have made, in a 4-month period of time, make $9,000. Now, it's a strategy, it's an idea, it's an example, and it's based on certain things happening in certain ways. But it's the idea that is what can happen. And this is the motivation. So when you understand all the other elements, then you can march into that and know what activities you need to do to create those results. So in that strategy, I said in your first month, then, and this is very important, your job is to understand what it is you're doing, the products that you represent, and set up your game plan. Now, if we look at the big picture, okay, and the big picture is what's really important here as a concept, is that if this is a decision that you make that you want to do, the benefits are mind-boggling. I mean, they're mind-boggling in the sense of what you can make money, in the sense of your time freedom to do and choose and go and anything you want to do, your ability to help other people. It's truly fantastic because the system and the concept is based on a leverage of many people contributing to the pie, not just one. And so if you were to analogize it, it's like a corporation or a big business where you've got a whole group of people that are contributing to the pie. A charitable organization, same concept. So when you start to create a business, it continues and continues and continues. I'm still being paid today on my first day's work. I have customers that I've had for 29 years. I have consultants that have joined the business and they've been with me for that same period of time. And of course, all the successive times since then, so on and so forth. And the freedom, my whole life was created and established, sending kids to college, traveling the world, setting up retirement, getting what was necessary for life and living. All it was a result of doing this activity. So the message and the lesson here is this is as significant and as important and as valuable as any profession that you could name at this point in time, with all aspects of what we do. And it's based on a very, very interesting and unique philosophy, which is what we call the 5 pillars of health. So it's healthy finances, healthy body, healthy mind, healthy family, and healthy society. And the key is to balance those and create that balanced lifestyle. So in order to get involved with this, you can't expect somebody to just walk off the street and say, okay, I know what to do. Let's go. I'm going to go do this. And I know everything there is to know. No, don't go that way. You owe it to yourself if you really see what the big picture is to take a little bit of time to get educated. So in your specific case with JP from last night, and okay, so he's got the product now, experienced those products, and so if this were my guy, what I would be doing is I would be getting into talking with him, and here's why. Communication creates ideas. I want to know what's important to JP. I want to know where he wants to go. I want to know what he would like to get as a result of doing this business, so I could then create, from my understanding, the plan and the direction, and then create that list of what he needs to know and understand to get educated. So absolutely correct. Get the Smart Networker program. There's a really neat incentive right now for doing that. And join the 100K Club, so you're part of an accountability group and you learn there. Get your products, start utilizing your products so you gain the experience. And the only reason for that is simply this: we communicate with other people, and the best form of communication in the direct word of mouth idea is through experience. Exactly. So if you've had the thorn pulled from your paw and you're talking to somebody else, they understand that. If you're excited about a passion or a purpose, and that's why you're doing it, and you communicate with somebody else, that's why you're doing it. But we do it by utilizing these concepts that are core basic ideas for life and living. I mean, you start drinking Pi Mag water, for example. You're not going to want to drink any other water. You're going to get hydrated properly. You're going to get the minerals that your body needs. And if you do some research on this, that's the core problem, is just people aren't getting the right nutrients. And when they're not getting the right nutrients, their body breaks down. When their body breaks down, you know, the media and the pharmaceuticals and the medical community have said, well, go take a pill.
Exactly.
And so when you do that, then that creates side effects. I mean, I can't believe the side effects of some of these drugs that they're talking about. I mean, it scares the heck out of you. I mean, I mean, it's just like, but where are people in that awareness level? So part of our job is to bring their awareness up. And of course, we did this wonderful wellness preview last night. That's recorded and posted in the wellness preview section of the webpage, daverolf.com. So you can go that, play it, and view it as many times as you want. But the facts are the facts. And people are pretty intelligent when they understand the facts. There's a wake up to the fact, oh my goodness. So then you provide them with the solution or the truth or what will resolve some of these problems and challenges. The rest takes care of itself. And then you get customers for life. And then of course there's the other side. People are sick and tired of doing what they're doing. They don't like being trapped in these offices. And although we're going to a new economy, the gig economy, and more people are taking on not jobs, but projects and working from home and so on and so forth, there's still a lot of demand there, and they still have to do it themselves. And the idea behind what we do is leverage. So you introduce this to a consumer, and that consumer continues to buy, then what you're doing there is creating a residual future income. You bring in another consultant that decides to do what you're doing, then you've duplicated yourself. And while they're out doing something, you could be out doing something else. And that's the opportunity. So again, like anything else, my recommendation is, number one, get educated, get set up, get your products, learn what it is you are to do, so that when you go start doing it, you are more productive, you get better results. And when you look at the time frame, you'll actually perform much better in the long run than you would if you just, it's a, oh, okay, I'm gonna, rah, rah, rah. I mean, the rah, rah is great. I mean, that's, we love to get into the rah, rah, but it's really, really important in the long run to make sure you understand what it is you're doing. And then when you understand what you're doing and make that commitment that that's what you're going to do, then the rest falls into place. It's kind of like, have you ever had that situation where, well, do I want to go to the mountains, or do I want to go to the park, or which one do I want to go to? And you're in this quandary of what to do. And it's called the maybe. Maybe I'll go here, maybe I'll go there. What happens when you're in a maybe? Nothing. So when you make a decision, the interesting part about making a decision is then things start to happen. And just if you think about this, nothing will happen until you make the decision. And this is a very interesting thing. It's kind of like, okay, well, should I do this business? Well, I don't know. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. And in that time frame, nothing is going to occur. All that's going to happen is you get stuck in this idea of maybe I will, maybe I won't. Here's the thing, either decide not to or decide to, but don't get stuck in the maybe, because that'll drive you nutty and it won't help you in your life and your living. But the interesting part is, and if you look at this with other things that you've done, once you make a decision on something, then the result of that decision will occur. So if you look at, and this is lesson 2, it's a very powerful lesson, that decisions actually are the basis of everything that you do. Everything that happens to you, everything that will happen to you is based on a decision that you make. So all you need to do is make decisions that are in your favor when you consciously think about them and drive forward into your future that you will create. And the only reason for failure in this business is simply not doing the activities that are known to work. If you do the activities in a sufficient quantity for you and your circumstances, then it works, and it's fabulous. And that's why, again, we have this call, so that you can gain the benefit and the understanding of what we do as a group, and take that knowledge and information and then apply it to your life and your circumstances. And it's truly wonderful. So enough for that on that. We have some guests on that on the call today. So maybe what we can do is have the person that invited them just say a couple of words, or if you want to ask some questions, that's exactly what this is for, and we'll go from there.
So I'm Carol, and Danny is a new consultant with me, and
Hello.
he's totally understands health and well-being, and he goes barefoot all the time, and he's the one that started talking to me about grounding, and then we got the grounding mat, and he's exploring a number of different things in his life, kind of on a new venture. And I don't know, Danny, if you want to share anything about your experience with Nikken.
I'm just excited in order to be able to work with the products that kind of go hand in hand with what I believe too, about how having a healthy mind and a healthy body definitely are fundamental, and then having the other pillars be stable too. Thank you for this call. This has been very informative so far, and I'm excited about building my own branch up from here too. This has been very, very helpful.
Well, great, Danny, and I'm glad that you saw that in that information. And again, it's as an entrepreneur, and I found many great opportunities. And being a baby boomer and going through a generation of tremendous, life-changing ideas that have hit the marketplace or provided for us, and I was at the beginning of all of these things, and sometimes I didn't see what they were, and then in hindsight look back and said, well, why didn't somebody tell me? Why didn't somebody educate me on what I could have done to take advantage of that? And so to that degree, that's what I'm trying to accomplish at the same time, is that in a lot of cases, you don't get this kind of information when you need it at the beginning to actually help you make a decision. So that's what this is all about. The information's there for you to take advantage of, and hopefully you'll see something that's important to you. And if there's anything that we can do to help, and myself particularly, Carol knows how to get a hold of me. And of course, once you join up and join the 100K Club, then that's an automatic. Then you have carte blanche to ask questions, contact me, and go from there. All right?
Cool. Well, thank you. And it's very timely, this call too. I just moved from Door County, Wisconsin, where I had the opportunity, in order to be barefoot and out in nature all the time and receive the negative ions and the natural grounding normally, but now I'm in Chicago, where now I need that extra help too. So Nikken's becoming that much more important for me now that I'm away from Mars. So thank you very much.
Okay, super. All right. Is there anybody else on the line that wants to bring up a topic or something to talk about?
Amelia.
Hi, Amelia.
Hi. You have been in my ear ever since I've been on these calls, and I went to an event Saturday. It was a professional event. It was a vision board party, but I went there prepared. I didn't have my business cards, but I had flyers for my Sunday event. And so I was engaged in, a few conversations with people, and I was just listening for them just to say one word. And so I was talking to a political person who just happened to be the Commissioner of Revenue, CEO of that magazine, and she was talking and she was holding her stomach and said, I just got to do something about this. And I said, oh, wow. I said, I believe my company may have something for that. I said, I'm actually having an event tomorrow. And I said, and remind me, I have to give you a flyer. And so what I liked, I didn't just talk, you know, and then she was coming to me, Amelia, where's that flyer? So when I gave her a flyer, then it was another young lady who is in charge of Girl Track, which is a running group. And she said, oh, I love natural things. She said, but I'm going to be in Richmond with her tomorrow. And then another young lady said, I'm going to be in D.C. She said, please get in contact with me. I said, oh, my God. I said, just because I didn't talk too much. Because normally, I remember when you said, Amelia, you can stay excited, but listen for what they need. And that's what I did. And just by doing that, and I was able to, I just gave out a few flyers there, but I'm listening more, I passed out the flyers just for the event that Sandra and Al sponsored. And it was a great event, and got a new business partner, a potential business partner, and customers are going in the system just because I've been on this call, and I got great partners and the training. So when I really started reading and educating myself more, I'm still gonna kind of slow down a little bit from talking a whole lot. You know, I don't talk about the company name. I don't do none of that stuff. You know, I just say, hey, I believe we got something to help you, just like today at the elevator. You know, and I'm doing better with not talking at work too. But the lady, she was just begging me. She was begging me because I don't want to get fired. She was begging me, and I said, oh no. I said, what happened to your foot? And then she mentioned something. I don't know what she said. I said, oh, wow. I said, I believe my company got something for you. I said, I can't talk about this. I'm on the job. I said, just give me your name, your phone number, and your email. And I said, and I'm going to invite you to my next event. And so that's all I do. I don't talk no more. I remember what you told me. I'm on the job, and I have to be ethical, and I'm being ethical. So I appreciate all of the help, and I'm going to go back and let's see. I was on my sister's computer that night, so I'm going to get her to send it, because I did put a mark on it because I couldn't get everything going. I'm going to get her to send it from her computer instead of redoing it on my work computer and sending it from here. I'm going to let her send it from her computer. So I have that application in to do what I need to do. So thank you again, and I appreciate this call because this is what I've been waiting for. And Sandra and Al, I love you, and thank you so much.
That's great. Awesome job. Awesome job. So, you know, I mean, wow. There's so much in what she said that is so valuable for what it is we do. But the key point is this was lesson 4. And in the Smart Networker, when you find the issue that is important to the other person, and they've been trying to resolve this or handle it, and they haven't been able to, and you come up with a solution, man, I have seen this for 40 years. They grab onto it like they got steel jaws, because no one wants to be in pain, discomfort, or whatever that negative situation is. So I'm so happy for you, Amelia. I mean, this is awesome. And of course, you know, this is just the beginning, and you're going to gain a lot more, learn more, but keep up the good work, you know, have fun and enjoy yourself.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, so that's going to be it for today's call. I think that was good, unless somebody has something very important that they want to talk about. All right. Well, thank you very much to our guests and our new consultants for being on the call today. I hope that you then take heed to what was said and utilize it for your best interest. If you go to daverolf.com, you'll see all the resources there, what to do, how to do it. This is the link to get on to our 100K Club call. I do have one request, in the sense of, if you want to participate in the 100K Club call, you got to be a member. It's free to be a member. Just fill out the application, and then this way, it's part of the accountability agreement. You'll see it on the form, and we'll go from there. And then if you are looking to get educated, then go the Smart Networker route, and that opens up huge doors for you, and very important for your future. And then we go from there. Today is the 29th, so we have 3 days, today, tomorrow, and the next day for the end of the month. So for those that are going for a goal or a target, you know, it's time to pour on the coals. What happens in this business is sometimes the biggest events happen in the last day of the month. I know I went Royal Diamond in the last day of the month. I went Diamond in the last day of the month. And of course, obviously, there's a ramp up and a runway to get to that. But, you know, now's the time to finish off your month with a bang, hit those targets that you want to hit and achieve those goals. And then again, we start the game over for the next month. And so tomorrow's call is our Wednesday call, and this is for the East Coast and Central America. So it's at 4 p.m. Pacific and 7 p.m. On the East Coast. So we get some evening time in there for those folks. And again, if you want to plug in, no problem. This is an open group, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. And always there's something new and exciting. So thanks for being on the call. Really appreciate it. Hope you have a great day. And if you need my help, you know how to reach me. Oh, talk to you. Thanks, Danny. And we'll talk later, guys. Bye for now.
Thank you.